Hey, what's going on everybody? Wana here for Base Game Reviews, and today we're doing a full video breakdown of my review of the Plucky Squire. I played the Plucky Squire as part of my PS Plus Extra subscription. 50% of my 10-hour playtime was on my PS Portal handheld. Story score, 15 out of 20. You begin this tale as a 2D character in a kid's book, and you play like you're reading the book, watching everything unfold. The game quickly introduces you to the main gimmick of this adventurous puzzle game, and that's the ability to change a word in a written sentence on the book's page to another word found elsewhere in the book. This starts off simple, like shown on screen, with having you change the word forest to the word ruin. Soon, we gain the ability to jump out of the book and become a 3D character. This seems like a hard thing to pull off, but the developers did a great job to make this flow. The 2D cutscenes completely match the book reading feel of the game. They are mainly a narrator talking as the pages turn. In the 3D world, the cutscenes are generally panning shots showing the 3D world and how it is arranged in this chapter of the game. Surprisingly, the world building is great. The game gives a clear picture of what the world is like, then over the course of the game, the world expands as you progress, and this is done mainly through cutscenes and dialogue with NPCs. The story is really quite unique and has interesting twists along the way, however it was a bit underwhelming once you roll credits. Graphics score, 12 out of 15. The 2D world in the Plucky Squire has such beauty in its art direction that sadly doesn't transfer out into the 3D world. The environments in the 2D world are cute and the art direction is nice, but leaves the 3D world looking a lot less impressive, just like the character models. Again, the special effects in the 2D world really suit the art direction. In the 3D world, they are up to par with things like the explosions shown on screen now, being visually impressive, but nothing memorable here. Audio score, 10 out of 15. The music does well to get you going as you work through the puzzles. The ambience is comfortable and relaxing when needed, and dark and dreary when things take a turn for the worse. There is a bit lacking at times though, mainly in the 3D world. The boss music during a few of the fights is great and helps elevate these boss battles. The sound design was fine, nothing held anything back. It was all serviceable, but nothing memorable or outstanding. Performance score, 7 out of 10. There is inconsistent frame pacing for this game in the 3D world at times, as shown on screen now. It was noticeable, even if the frame rate itself wasn't dropping much below 60. I had no major issues during my playtime, no crashes, but I did have two bugs. The first, shown on screen now, was when a turret spawned on my character and held me in place for about 5 seconds. The second bug was during the last boss encounter. Luckily, this was fixed when I exited and re-entered the game. Gameplay score, 32 out of 40. Controls are responsive in the 2D world, but felt a bit off in the 3D world. However, this may have just been me adjusting to the two worlds. The Plucky Squire does a great job with its unique puzzle mechanics and kept the gameplay feeling fresh without getting too hard on the difficulty. The sentence mechanic scales well throughout the game and manages to add more complex systems and functions without getting tedious. There was a good pace to the story, but there were times when I wanted to go back to the 2D world and do some puzzles, but it was stuck having to do a longer section in the 3D world. The UI and menu really suit and reflect the world's charm perfectly. The boss battles are quite unique and change up from the gameplay loop completely, leaving them feeling fresh. However, they are quite basic and sadly over quite quickly. There are very few enemies in the Plucky Squire, but it has enough for the gameplay style and length of the title. There is little way to play differently in the Plucky Squire, but given how diverse the 2D and 3D worlds are and how each boss battle is compared to the others, there is a surprisingly large amount of variety in such a short game. A one-trick pony is what I would refer to a puzzle game like this, as they are not really designed with replayability in mind, but you may replay things to get collectibles that you may have missed on your playthrough. Bonus score, 2 out of 4. The controls are fully remappable and there are multiple options to assist you if needed. Overall score, 78 out of 100. This is a good game. From the second I started the Plucky Squire, I adored the game's charm and really appreciated the unique puzzles, and the 2D 3D world dynamic worked well, with neither feeling gimmicky or pointless. Now, you may have noticed a common theme with the review in that the 3D world kept holding back the 2D world's beauty and charm, but it was more a case of the 2D world excelling above and beyond. If you like a good short puzzle game with a unique feel, then maybe give the Plucky Squire a chance. If you stuck around this long, we thank you for watching. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, make sure to check out the latest reviews at basegamereviews.com. Also, check out our podcast that premieres every Friday at 5 PM PST on the channel.